That looks pretty cool. What's wrong with just eating them? Anyway, appreciate you guys watching out for my health. Saying, Pastor Mike, you still on your diet? Yeah. Link with witchcraft closes therapy clinic. A natural therapy clinic at Wanganui, Whanganui, Wanganui Hospital, offering massage and traditional Maori healing, has been shelved after a doctor linked it to witchcraft and wizardry. The clinic also offered Christian prayer and energy healing, including Reiki and color therapy, to staff for health and well-being. The hospital agreed to offer the therapies as a 3-month trial, but it was stopped early on September 19th because of a doctor's comments. After we decided to have the pilot for staff, there was some negative publicity generated by a couple of our board members. Oh, wait a minute. I have to back up. After we decided to have the pilot for staff, there was some negative publicity generated by a couple of our board members, Chief Executive Julie Patterson said. I wasn't overly concerned about it. Some weeks later, one of the senior doctors made a comment publicly in the local newspaper, a positive comment, not negative comment about the trial, but linked it with witchcraft and wizardry. That, Mrs. Patterson said, was confusing for the public, and the clinic was closed. It's not that she agreed with it. It's not that she said, you mean this is witchcraft? Why, we can't be practicing. It's not that she agreed with it. She didn't like the publicity that came. Somebody said this is witchcraft, and the people are calling the telly. Is it the telly in New Zealand? I don't know. Anyway, they're calling the phone, calling the hospital, and they're going, why are you guys practicing witchcraft here? And so it was bad publicity, not the fact that she didn't like what was going on. And I'm telling you, anytime you turn the light on, that's when the cockroaches go running. Let's see here. We have, what else do we have? I have articles about, let's see here. I tried printing these out thinking it would be less confusing, and I think it's more confusing now. Here is an article from the Huffington Post, Canada. Says, why are the Freemasons collecting our children's DNA? Did I have a clip of that? I wonder what happened to it. I thought I had a picture. The Freemasons had this thing called, and this is interesting. It's called the CHIP program. That's what it's called. Conspiracy theorists need theorize no more. And pages from a fiction novel brought to life, the strangest twists in popular folklore have been winding through our government corridors. In this case, I wouldn't blame you for being tempted to run it by Snopes. Fabled as a secret society, Freemasons see themselves as an esoteric fraternity, an ancient brotherhood of initiates who are voted into membership for the purpose of sharing enlightenment through the use of exclusive teachings. Can I do something? I've been researching this week, writing scripts for Watchman broadcasts for your enjoyment. And I have had a book, and it's written by, and if you have any familiarity with Freemasonry, you might recognize this. Let me get to where I can see it here. Oh, you know what? Hang on. There we go. That's what we didn't do. All right. Anyway, this is Freemasonry, Its Hidden Meaning, George Steinmetz, and let's see here. McCoy Publishing and Masonic Supply Company, Richmond, Virginia. Now, this was not written by Alex Jones. It was not written by David Icke. It was not even written by Mike Hoggard. It was written by a Mason. This is one of their manuals. Somebody sent me this a couple years ago. I also have a good friend of mine gave me Mackey's Revised Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. See that symbol there? I'm going to be dealing with that. I have a new video coming up called The Square and the Compass. And then I have, and I've had several people send me this. This is a Masonic Bible, and it's a King James Bible. And so there's probably people out there saying, see, King James was a Mason. They put Masonic secrets in the Bible. You can't trust the King James Bible. And I will tell you that I don't care what street corner it comes from. I don't care what side of the avenue people shout it from. When everybody who is on, boy, I need to think about if I can say this or not. Yeah, I think I can. Everybody that is on the side of the devil, whether they realize it or not, is going to try to tell you that the King James Bible is not trustworthy, it's not reliable, it's a big pile of garbage. I had a talk with Pastor John Uter this morning. He called me this morning. We chit-chatted a while. And he said he was sitting in a church, and he said that just comes out of the Sunday school teacher's mouth. That Bible's got untold, the King James, untold thousands of mistakes in it. You can't trust that book for nothing. And he said the funny thing was, he was teaching a Sunday school lesson on the truth of God, which was just, he said, it just amazes me. I have another two pastors from Arkansas that are in a battle right now in the denomination they're in the local district group that they're in. They're dealing with, they have been traditionally King James, but now they're changing the rules. Now they're saying we can use these other Bibles, and they're going, you know what? We're going to stand against it. Pastor Mike, will you help us out? And I'm going, you bet I will. I'm going to stand here in the backgrounds in my top secret broadcasting bunker where nobody can get to me, and I'm going to tell you what to say. These guys some of these guys believe the Bible longer than me. And they're good friends of mine. I appreciate them. But anyway, we have the Masonic King James Bible, and I got two of them actually. Was looking at the other one a while ago, and it's got all kinds of. Look at what it says here: the Holy Bible, the great light in Masonry. Not true. Not true. And then there's all kinds of stuff in here for Masons to read and all kinds of goodies. So, dealing with the Mason, let me read this article again. Fabled as a secret society, Freemasons see themselves as an esoteric fraternity, an ancient brotherhood of initiates who are voted into membership for the purpose of sharing enlightenment through the use of exclusive teachings. Let me read you a little blurb from this book called Freemasonry, Its Hidden Meaning, written by a Mason for Masons. This is their book. So here's what he says. In its ritualism and monitorial lessons, Masonry teaches nothing in morals, in science, in religion, or in any other department of human knowledge or interest not taught elsewhere in current forms of thought or by the sages of the past. In these directions, it has no secrets of any kind. It is in the ancient symbols, like those. It is in the ancient symbols of Freemasonry that its real secrets lie concealed. And these, listen to this now, these are as densely veiled to the Mason as to any other. You know what he just said? You don't even know what they mean. You're a Mason. Listen to this. unless there's densely veiled to the Mason as to any other, unless he has studied the science of symbolism in general and Masonic symbols in particular. The most profound secrets of Masonry are not revealed in the lodge at all. They belong only to the few. I'll let you look at it. That's exactly what it says. The most profound secrets of Masonry are not revealed in the lodge at all. They belong only to the few. So, the square and compass, what does it mean? Well, it means that you're to square your actions with all mankind and circumscribe your principles with something. I actually have the quote of what they say it means. And then they'll tell you that's not really what it means. We're not telling you the truth. What does it mean? We're not going to tell you. Thank God I have a Bible. Anyway, back to the CHIP program. The article goes on, they are not a religious group, and yet elevated status can be obtained through an invitation to the various esteemed rites in the legendary Knights Templar. That full proper title is the United Religious, Military, and Masonic Orders of the Temple and of St. John of Jerusalem, Palestine, Rhodes, and Malta. It is argued they find their roots in an historical Christian militia, which once upon a time nearly bankrupted the Vatican. Despite an effort to distance themselves from politics and religion in modern times, Scandinavian branches to this day will only permit entry of few of fellow Christian worshippers. Women remain forbidden, although there is good news for slaves and the disabled who may have overcome discrimination after 1,000 years of human rights progression. On the Grand Lodge of Canada website, they continue to affirm this elusive aura with statements like the following. Freemasonry is a fraternal association of men of good and high ideals, but it is not a public association. Private is a more appropriate description than secret, and as with many organizations, certain information is reserved for members only. So why then is an exclusive, this is the article now, so why then is an exclusive group collecting our children's DNA? With support of police and the government across the USA and Canada, eh? You know them as Masonic, or perhaps you've been led to believe it was a state and provincial endeavor intended to protect your little ones. They set up fairs, forged partnerships with law enforcement, and even strive to distribute their services through North America public school systems. In Massachusetts, this Freemason program was promoted by CBS News from the steps of the official state house and included their police dog, coincidentally named Mason. Reporters only failed to mention the private nod to those promoting him, or that government had little to do with it. What is Masonic, you ask? Well, it's thin slices of fried potato. No, it's not. It begins on the surface as a child identification program. Child identification program, CHIP. In case your loved ones are ever to be horrendously abducted, is there another kind of abduction, I would ask? Parents are familiar with at-home kits to record their kids' vital information for protection against the greatest of all fears to be inflicted on a family. Normally, height, weight, hair, and eye color are recorded along with a set of fingerprints and hopefully a current photograph. It's just the good folks at your local